Something was terribly wrong at Wildwood Zoo. Kofi stood perfectly still. The massive silverback gorilla raised his trembling hand. He pointed directly at the Texas sky. Every single day brought the same ritual. Same time. Same gesture. Same desperate stare. Zookeeper Elena Brooks noticed first. 23 years working with animals. She had never seen anything like this. Kofi would stop eating mid-bite. His powerful frame would freeze completely. Those intelligent dark eyes would search upward. His weathered finger would extend skyward. Like he was trying to tell someone something. Something urgent. Something deadly important. Elena felt ice-cold dread creeping up her spine. "What are you seeing, big guy?" Elena whispered. Kofi's gaze never wavered from that specific spot. The same patch of blue Texas sky. Day after day. Hour after hour. His pointing became more frantic over time. More desperate. More pleading. Elena documented everything in her daily reports. The behavior started 3 weeks ago. No medical explanation existed for it. Kofi remained physically healthy during examinations. Temperature normal. Appetite mostly normal. Except for the strange new obsession. This compulsive pointing at empty air. Other zookeepers started whispering behind Elena's back. "The gorilla has finally lost his mind. Years of captivity broke him. Elena is getting too attached to him. Maybe it is time to put him down." Their cruel words cut through Elena's heart. She knew Kofi better than anyone. This was not madness or mental breakdown. This was intelligent communication across species. But nobody else would listen. Then the neighboring animals started getting sick. Mara the elephant developed a harsh cough. The sound echoed across the entire zoo. Deep, wet, rattling coughs that never stopped. The prairie dogs became lethargic overnight. They barely moved from their burrows. Even the hardy Texas longhorn cattle struggled. Their breathing became labored and shallow. A shadow of fear crossed Elena's mind. Kofi had been warning about something to them. The first death happened on a Tuesday. Duchess, the beloved African painted dog. She collapsed during the morning feeding. Her small body convulsed for 3 minutes. Then she was gone. Elena knelt beside the lifeless form. Tears streamed down her weathered cheeks. Kofi's pointing intensified that same day. His massive arm shook with visible effort. Like he was screaming without making sound. By Thursday, 2 more animals had died. Chester the ring-tailed lemur passed quietly. Bella the red kangaroo followed hours later. The veterinary team ran countless tests. No clear cause of death emerged. No obvious disease. No visible injuries. Just healthy animals suddenly stopping breathing. Elena watched Kofi continue his daily ritual. His strength was visibly declining now. The pointing lasted longer each day. His eyes held unmistakable desperation. Like time was running out fast. Elena made a crucial decision that Friday. She called her friend Marcus Reed. Marcus worked as an investigative journalist. He specialized in heart-touching animal articles. "Something is killing my animals," Elena said. Her voice cracked with raw emotion. "Kofi has been trying to warn us. I need you to film this story." Marcus arrived Saturday morning with equipment. Professional cameras. Audio recording devices. He had covered dozens of stories. But this felt different somehow. More urgent. More personal. Elena led Marcus directly to Kofi's enclosure. The magnificent gorilla sat motionless. His breathing appeared slightly labored now. But those eyes remained laser-focused, scanning that same section of sky. Marcus began filming immediately. Kofi slowly raised his trembling hand. The gesture looked almost human. Pleading. Desperate. Heartbreakingly vulnerable. He has been doing this for weeks, Elena explained. Her voice barely above a whisper. Every day. Same time. Same spot. Marcus captured every detail on camera. The way Kofi's fingers trembled slightly. The intense concentration in his expression. The unwavering focus of his gaze. This was not random animal behavior. This was deliberate communication. A cry for help without words. Where exactly is he pointing? Marcus asked. Elena squinted toward the horizon. Somewhere beyond the zoo boundaries. I have never been able to see what. Marcus lowered his camera thoughtfully. We need to get higher up. Find a different vantage point. Elena remembered the observation tower immediately. The old weather station stood 50 feet tall. Built in the 1970s. Rarely used anymore except for maintenance. They climbed the narrow metal stairs. Each step echoed in the confined space. Higher and higher above the zoo grounds. Elena's legs burned from the steep ascent. Marcus carried his heavy camera equipment. Both breathing hard in the Texas heat. Before we continue with their shocking discovery, don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps the channel grow. From the tower's peak, everything looked different. The zoo spread out like a miniature model below. They could see Kofi in his enclosure. Still pointing. Still perfectly focused. Elena followed the invisible line of his gesture. Across the parking lot. Over the highway. Through a cluster of residential buildings. Into the industrial district beyond. There, barely visible through shimmering heat waves, stood massive concrete smokestacks. Gray smoke drifted lazily upward. Almost invisible against the pale sky. The Meridian Chemical Processing Plant. Elena had driven past it countless times. Never really noticing its presence. Never connecting it to her animals. Marcus adjusted his camera's zoom lens. The factory came into sharp focus. Multiple smokestacks belched continuous emissions. Pale gray gas mixing with natural clouds. Maybe that has to be it, Marcus whispered. His hands steady despite growing excitement. Kofi has been pointing at industrial pollution. He knew something was wrong. Elena felt an icy chill of worry settle over her. What if her animals were being slowly poisoned? Day after day. Month after month. While she remained completely unaware. Kofi had tried to warn everyone. The only way he knew how. Marcus filmed everything from the tower. The smokestacks. The drifting emissions. The clear line of sight from Kofi's enclosure. Undeniable visual evidence of the connection. They descended quickly back to ground level. Elena's mind raced with terrible possibilities. How long had this been happening? How many animals would die? Could Kofi himself survive much longer? Marcus edited the footage that same evening. Professional quality. Compelling narrative structure. He opened with Kofi's haunting gesture. The magnificent gorilla pointing desperately skyward. Then the heartbreaking shots of sick animals. Empty enclosures where friends once lived. Elena's emotional testimony about mysterious deaths. The view from the tower. Clear footage of the factory's toxic emissions. Marcus uploaded the video Sunday night. Silent Guardian, Gorilla exposes corporate cover-up. The title immediately grabbed attention. Within hours, the video went viral. Millions of views poured in worldwide. Comments flooded with outrage and tears. Local news stations picked up the story. National media requested interviews. Elena found herself thrust into spotlight, speaking passionately about Kofi's intelligence, about corporate responsibility for animal deaths, about the need for immediate regulatory action. But then the real enemy revealed himself. Richard Blackstone owned Meridian Chemical. The billionaire had built his fortune on the chemical industry. Money was his god. Power his addiction. Blackstone held a chilling press conference. "It's trendy now to blame all problems on environmental pollution," he declared. His cold smile never reached his eyes. "My factory meets all standards. Air samples are taken regularly. These animals are probably dying due to the negligence of the zoo staff." The next morning Elena received a voice message. "Drop this crusade or face consequences." The voice was cold and calculated. Marcus got similar warnings daily. His editor suddenly pulled the story. Too controversial, came the excuse. Blackstone's money had bought silence. The billionaire's lawyers filed harassment lawsuits. Against Zoo. Against Elena. Against Marcus. Legal fees mounted beyond their resources. Meanwhile, more animals died each day. Kofi's strength continued declining rapidly. His pointing became increasingly desperate. Like he knew death was winning. Elena watched her beloved family suffer. Completely powerless against corporate evil. The system protected the wealthy murderer. Justice seemed impossible to reach. She sat beside Kofi's enclosure weeping. "I am so sorry I failed you. You tried to save everyone. And I could not save you." Then something miraculous happened. A new voice joined the fight. Taylor Morrison was 24 years old. The environmental blogger had 3 million subscribers. Taylor discovered Marcus's original video. Someone forwarded him it 2 weeks ago. Someone had saved it before deletion. "This cannot be buried," Taylor whispered. Taylor drove 12 hours to reach Wildwood Zoo. She brought professional film equipment. And something more powerful than cameras. She brought genuine passion for justice. Elena met her at the entrance gates. "Most people gave up weeks ago," Elena said. Her voice carried exhausted hope. "Why are you still fighting this?" Taylor looked toward Kofi's enclosure. The mighty gorilla sat motionless. His arm raised in eternal warning. Because he never stopped fighting. And neither should we. Taylor filmed everything with fresh eyes. Kofi's deteriorating condition was heartbreaking. His once powerful frame looked frail now. But his spirit remained unbroken. That finger still pointed skyward. Still warning. Still pleading. Taylor interviewed Elena for 3 hours. She documented every animal death. Every mysterious symptom. Every ignored warning sign. The new video went live Tuesday morning. The gorilla who tried to save us all. Taylor's massive following shared immediately. 3 million views within 2 hours. 6 million by evening. 10 million before midnight. The comments section exploded with outrage. How is this factory still operating? That poor gorilla tried to warn everyone. We need to protest at Meridian Chemical. Justice for Kofi and the animals. Something unprecedented began happening. People started sharing personal stories. Residents living near the factory. Stories of unexplained illnesses. Stories of beloved pets dying suddenly. Stories of children developing asthma. Stories the media had ignored for years. Rachel Morgan wrote tearfully, "My grandmother lived 2 miles from Meridian Chemical. She developed lung cancer at 73. Never smoked a day in her life. The doctors could not explain it. Now I understand what killed her." Michael Bennett posted, "My twin boys started having breathing problems last year. We live in the factory district. I thought it was normal childhood asthma. But after seeing this video, I realized the truth. That factory is poisoning our children." The stories multiplied exponentially. Hundreds became thousands. A pattern emerged from the testimonies. Cancer clusters near the factory. Respiratory illnesses in young children. Pets dying from mysterious causes. All within a 5-mile radius. All dismissed by local authorities. All ignored by mainstream media. Until one gorilla refused to stay silent. The first protesters arrived Wednesday morning. Just 7 people holding handmade signs. "Listen to Kofi. Stop the poisoning. Animals died for corporate profits." By Thursday afternoon, 40 protesters gathered. Local news cameras finally appeared. Taylor live-streamed the growing movement. "Kofi started this," she told viewers. "We finish it for him." Elena joined the protests after work. Her presence legitimized the movement. People recognized her from the videos. The zookeeper who refused to give up. The woman who believed in animal intelligence. Friday brought explosive developments. 200 protesters marched outside Meridian Chemical. Police tried to disperse the crowd. But more people kept arriving. Families carrying sick children. Elderly residents in wheelchairs. Young activists demanding change. The movement had become unstoppable. Taylor coordinated everything through social media. Listen to Kofi trended worldwide. Celebrity supporters joined the cause. Environmental lawyers offered free services. Saturday's protest drew over 1,000 people. The factory gates were completely blocked. Meridian Chemical had to shut down operations. Blackstone appeared on television again. His confident smirk had disappeared. "These protesters are disrupting legitimate business," he claimed. But his voice cracked with nervousness. The tide was turning against him. Sunday brought the breakthrough moment. James Patterson worked inside Meridian Chemical. He was a maintenance engineer. 23 years of loyal service. But loyalty had its limits. Patterson watched the protests from his office window. Saw people holding pictures of dead animals. Saw elderly people struggling to breathe. Saw Elena holding a photo of Kofi. That night, Patterson made a decision. He returned to the factory after hours. Brought a hidden camera with him. What he filmed would change everything. The basement level held terrible secrets. Massive furnaces burned constantly. But they were not processing chemicals. They were burning toxic waste illegally. Barrels upon barrels of deadly substances. Carcinogenic chemicals banned decades ago. All of it incinerated without proper filtration. All of it pumped directly into the atmosphere. All of it drifting toward the zoo. Toward residential neighborhoods. Toward schools and playgrounds. Monday morning, Patterson's video went viral. Factory worker exposes illegal waste burning. The evidence was undeniable. Crystal clear footage of environmental crimes. Proof of everything Kofi had been warning about. Blackstone's empire began crumbling immediately. The Environmental Protection Agency arrived within hours. Federal agents swarmed the facility. The protests swelled to 5,000 people. The largest environmental demonstration in state history. Taylor live-streamed everything in real time. Kofi exposed the truth, she announced. One gorilla's warning saved an entire community. Tuesday brought swift governmental action. 3 private laboratories confirmed Patterson's evidence. Air samples contained deadly toxins. Soil samples showed contamination. Water supplies had been compromised. The mayor held an emergency press conference. Meridian Chemical is hereby ordered to cease operations immediately. The facility will remain closed pending criminal investigation. All responsible parties will face prosecution to the fullest extent of the law. Richard Blackstone was arrested Wednesday morning. Federal charges of environmental terrorism. Illegal disposal of hazardous materials. His empire of corporate greed had finally collapsed. Elena watched from Kofi's enclosure. Kofi fought bravely for his life. But the damage was already extensive. Weeks of breathing toxic fumes. His powerful body had been betrayed. The treatments helped stabilize his condition. But full recovery seemed impossible. 3 months after Blackstone's arrest, the cleanup began. Federal agencies coordinated the massive effort. Contaminated soil was excavated and replaced. Air filtration systems were installed throughout the area. The zoo received emergency funding. New medical equipment for animal care. A memorial garden for the animals who died. Kofi's condition gradually stabilized. He could breathe without assistance. His appetite slowly returned. 1 year later, Elena stood beside Kofi's enclosure. The late afternoon sun cast gentle shadows. Her beloved gorilla sat quietly near the glass. No longer pointing at the sky. No longer carrying the weight of warning. Elena placed her weathered palm against the cool barrier. Kofi slowly approached from the other side. His massive hand pressed against hers. Only transparent glass separated their touch. But nothing could separate their bond. 2 species. 2 hearts. United in love and understanding. You did it, big guy, Elena whispered. You saved everyone together. Kofi's dark eyes held peaceful wisdom. The desperate urgency had finally faded. Replaced by quiet contentment. His warning had been heard. His sacrifice had meaning. Justice had prevailed. In the distance, the Meridian Chemical smokestacks stood silent forever. In a world full of noise and distraction, we must learn to listen to those who cannot speak our language. Sometimes, one individual's refusal to accept evil can inspire millions to stand up for what is right. The greatest heroes are not always the strongest or the loudest. Sometimes they are the silent guardians who point toward danger, warning us with patient persistence until someone finally listens. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us grow and share more important stories.